What made the Salonica front unique in World War I? Imagine a battlefield where dozens of nations come together in a complex dance of alliances, fighting through rugged mountains and marshy lowlands. That's what made the Salonica front stand out during World War I. This front, also called the Macedonian front, was not your typical war zone. It was a place of constant challenge, shaped by geography, politics, and the mix of armies involved. The fighting began in late 1915 when Allied forces landed at the Greek port of Salonica, now known as Thessaloniki, to help Serbia against the Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Bulgaria. The front stretched across a huge area from the Adriatic Sea in Albania to the Struma River in Greece. The terrain was a wild mix of mountains, deep valleys, open plains, and big lakes. Moving troops and supplies was a real puzzle because of these natural obstacles. Unlike the Western Front, which saw trench warfare and stalemates, the Salonica Front was a patchwork of different forces working together. French, British, Serbian, Italian, Russian, and later Greek soldiers fought side by side. Each had their own commands and goals, making coordination tricky but also showing how many nations were involved in Southeast Europe. Greece itself was torn apart by the National Schism, a political split between pro-Allied and pro-Central Powers factions, which added another layer of complexity. Life for soldiers was tough. The weather swung from freezing cold to scorching heat, and the roads were often muddy or blocked by mountains. Logistics were a nightmare, with mules often replacing trucks. But the biggest enemy was disease. Malaria thrived in the marshy lowlands, causing more casualties than enemy fire in some units. Soldiers were called the gardeners of Salonica because of how many fell ill. For most of the war, the front was pretty static. Trenches barely moved, and battles like those at Lake Doran involved heavy fighting but no quick breakthroughs. The local people suffered too, enduring occupation, requisitions, and disruption, especially since the region had already been scarred by Balkan wars. The stalemate finally broke in September 1918 when Allied forces launched a successful push that shattered Bulgarian lines. Bulgaria surrendered, and this helped bring about the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and Austria-Hungary. The victory changed borders and alliances in Southeast Europe, setting the stage for future conflicts. The Salonica front was more than just a sideshow. It was a crossroads of many nations, cultures, and political interests. Its challenges in terrain, health, and diplomacy taught important lessons about fighting in difficult environments. Its impact still echoes today in how the region's history was shaped by this complex and multi-layered campaign.